What up? This is your boy Rama, and right now it's 7:50 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday morning, and I'm about to take my car to the auto shop for oil change. But before I go, I want to comment on this. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that video from a TikToker named Mally Mouse. Maybe if you are on TikTok like I am, you may have come across that video. And she made a pretty viral outrage video, angry about the fact that um, the actress who plays the live action Astrid in the upcoming live action How to Train Your Dragon movie, you saw the teaser yesterday, it arrived online, and she's just like pissed off that the girl playing Astrid is not blonde, blue eyes, and white. To be fair, the girl who plays the live action Astrid, her name is, let me get this right so I don't get it wrong, uh, Nicko Parker. And she is mixed, she is biracial. Her mother is actually a very famous actress. You've probably seen her in a few James Bond movies, named Thandie Newton. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And I believe her father is white, so she's mixed. And so, but that's still not good enough to Mally Mouse. Mally Mouse is like outraging. Maybe I could show you some of the clip from Mally Mouse here. I'll splice it up. Um, and she gave another example, with the Little Mermaid, with Haley Bailey, and other examples of like, oh my God, why do you have to race swap, to change, the character from white to POC, and all these races will be like, why DEI casting DEI. Okay, guys. Point number one to Mally Mouse. I don't know if that's your TikTok name or your real name. I don't give a fuck. But dude, you're still young, Mally Mouse. You're like what? You look like you're in your teens or maybe early 20s, dude. Be careful what you're putting out there in the internet. Maybe you don't care. Maybe you're hoping that, hey, if I do a racist rant and get viral over my racist rant, I might make money off of that views, and then she does have, I think last time I checked, a lot of following, large following. Maybe that's her line of thinking. Maybe she's like aiming for a job at Fox News someday, being one of their pundits. But that's a long shot, dude. People making money off of the internet, unless you're Jake Paul or Logan Paul, that's a long shot, man. I mean, best of luck to you. But what I'm getting at is be careful what you put out there, because the internet is forever, and if you are being racist on a video in the internet, that's not gonna look good for um, if you apply for a college or if you apply for a future job. Your employers might come across, because they dig that kind of stuff. They dig up, they do research on your background and stuff, and especially your social media. So you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you are building your reputation around racist rants like that. So that's number one. Just a word of caution to Mally Mouse and other young TikTokers out there who want to, who think that, oh, making outrage video can get me famous. That's the thing that can get me, millions of dollars. A job at Fox News, whatever. Just be careful, because if that doesn't land and you're gonna have to find a regular job, they will hold you accountable for what you put out there on the internet. Um, Point number two. Last time I checked, dragons are not real. But you know, in her defense, her argument is, well, these stories, these are about the Vikings. These stories are about Vikings. It doesn't matter what if the dragons are not real or not. Okay, okay. Um, to that defense, it's still like, well, there were no Vikings riding dragons. If you want to use that argument, still, this is all fantastical. This is all made up. And guess what? The director of the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie is the same goddamn director of the animated movies. Dean DeBlois. I've interviewed him. I've met him in person. Nice bloke. white dude, big heavy set guy, nicest, the one of the friendliest directors I've ever chatted with. Do you think he like purposely uh cast Nicko Parker just to stick it to the white people, to stick it to his own kind? Really, really, dude. Maybe has it ever occurred to you? Has it ever crossed your mind that maybe Nicko Parker is cast because Dean DeBlois says, yeah, she is the right actress for the role. She's got what it takes. She's got the talent, you know. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, sort of a thing, because her mom is an actress as well. I want to give her that job, you know. Does it ever come across that maybe Dean DeBlois, again, the same director of the animated movies, maybe he's not like intentionally like, you know what, I'm gonna cast Nicko Parker and make her a turn her into a sacrificial lamb so that people can outrage about her so that this movie can get publicity. Are you really that insane? Do you really think Dindbla would pet a cat and go like, how can I make the internet people angry today? Seriously. Ah, again, Vikings, yes, predominantly white folks, that region, majority. But even though I've never been to that region, my aunt and my uncle actually have gone to the Scandinavian nations, Denmark, Norwegian. They traveled there, they visited there, they had a blast there, and even then, there had been a lot of mixtures of migrants and immigrants going to that region as well. And I've seen a lot of Nordic, Scandinavian shows on Netflix and other platforms where the stars and the stars are people of color. The stars are not just white. So, and I've seen those. Like, okay, that's interesting, but it's refreshing because I'm not one of those guys who like, wow, I cannot believe they cast a non-white person in a Scandinavian show. They have a Vikings route. How dare they? They should not cast a people of color on a show like that. It's like, no, dude, I got a life of my own. Why should I be outraged about that kind of stuff? I got enough on my plate to stress about every day on how to pay the bills. But apparently to Mally Mouse, that's like a life and death situation. Oh my God, they cast somebody who's not blonde, blue-eyed, white to play Astrid. How the world is falling apart. And so yeah, man, it's fantasy. Like if they cast, I don't know, Bowen Yang to play Joe Biden, yeah, he does probably play him in a Saturday Night Live sketch. But if there's a biopic movie based on a true story, based on real characters, and maybe the race is not exactly correct, then yeah, we can have that conversation. Okay. I would be outraged if Tom Hanks plays Martin Luther King in a Martin Luther King biopic. Well, maybe I would get as animated and as angry as you are. But this is fantasy, dude. This is fictional. How to Train Your Dragon is based on books, fantasy movies. Little Mermaid. Uh, uh, um, fantasy stuff. I think, and this leads to my third point. I think there is, and this exists in our world today, especially in our country in America. Unfortunately, the demographics. There are certain demographics that feel like, oh my God, um, things are changing, and I don't feel comfortable with how things are changing. And that stems from the fear that what if my majority demographics, in this case, white people, becomes minority, and they're afraid of that because they know they remember what they do or they did or they still doing to minorities in this country. So they don't want to be on that side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? Oh, maybe that's why. Because you think, oh my God, if we become the minorities, we're gonna end up being treated like we have been treating them. Um, so I think that is, that could be another topic, a longer discussion that's more into social studies. You know, Um, but again, back to this case, it's just fantasy, dude. You got to give it a break. You got to get a life. There's got to be something more important that you can do out there than to be banking on outraging like this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm getting ready for my wedding and I'm trying to get my car to the auto shop, for oil change. I got stuff to do, you know, instead of doing what Mally Mouse is doing. Again, you got to be careful. If you want to put out a racist video out there hoping to get viral, be careful because future employers will not hire you if they come across your content. And you're young, Mally Mouse. You don't want to have that stain in their in people are gonna be like, oh my god, because especially we're living in, unfortunately, in a cancel culture era, which I don't agree with, but people will be like, don't hire her, don't hire him, this is what they did in the past, this is what with the tweet that they put out in the past, and they'll come for you, and that's not good. I don't want that for you, Mally Mouse. um, and to my last point is that regarding the whole fear of, oh my god, what if we get replaced, what if we become a minority, dude, you don't have anything to worry about, white folks. You don't have anything to worry about. You still rule America. Last time I checked, last president was white, or still is white, President Biden. And the upcoming president is white, Trump again. He's stacking his cabinet with white people. So there's like, what do you have to be worried about? What do you got to be worried? Oh my god. So what if Hollywood casts a few people of color to fill the roles of a few, previously played by white characters? So what? Rachel Ziggler plays Snow White, but last time I checked, Rachel Ziggler is not in charge of the Department of Treasury. You know what I'm saying? She's not making decisions over my life and over my future. You know what I'm saying? It's just a role that she plays on the screen, a fantasy role. Again, mind you, she's not making decisions that will affect populations. So you are outraged, angry about Little Mermaid, Snow White, Astrid being, biracial. When you're supposed to be worried about Mally Mouse, you're supposed to worry about your future. You're supposed to worry about, oh my God, what if future employers found out about my videos and won't hire me? That's what you need to worry about. So, oh, what if the people in charge right now screw with my Social Security, Medicare, and my taxes gonna go up, food prices. There's a lot to worry about. There's enough to worry about already at this point, and the white folks still rule this country. So I don't know why you are freaking out. Unbelievable. Calm the fuck down. All right? To Mally Mouse and everybody out there who's like, oh my God, Astrid is no longer blonde and blue. By the way, Astrid in the animated movies is voiced by who? Guess. I'll give you a second. You know this. You know this. You can Google up. I guess you can Wikipedia it. The actors who voice Astrid in the animated movies is American Ferrera. And what ethnicity is American Ferrera? She's Latina. She's Hispanic American, voicing a blonde, blue-eyed white girl that you claim like, oh my God, she has to. Oh, Astrid has to be blonde, blue-eyed, in the live action. Well, in the animation, she was voiced by a Latina. So that beats your argument. And guess what? The if you want to also go to another popular animated show, Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous, or Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, and Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Well, Camp Cretaceous, I should say. She was voiced by Jenna Ortega, blonde, blue, pink haired. Brooklyn is pink haired, blue eyed, pink haired, green eyed. Anyway, she's white girl, voiced by Jenna Ortega in the Camp Cretaceous, not World Chaos Theory. That's by another person. So again, guys, it's just Seriously, Dean DeBois, the director of the animated movies and the director of the live action version, is the same guy. He's not gonna be doing this out of malfeasance or out of I'm gonna show them. Not no man. He's a nice guy. He's a nice dude. He's casting the person that he believes is right for the role, and he believed American Ferrera was the right voice for Astrid, and now he believes that Nicko Parker is the right actress to play Astrid. This is his movie. This is his franchise. This whole thing. So who are you, Mally Mouse, and other TikTokers out there to be telling Dean DeBlois what to do? You're not Dean. You're not the one who owns this franchise. So yeah, that's my last point. It's just so dumb. It's just this whole thing is so fucking ridiculous, and I can't believe we have to spend time talking about this. Anyway, I'm gonna get going about my day. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys, and as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this. Do 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 do.